or how Putin holds leverage over Donald Trump. We will be talking about some challenges that are that countries are facing recently, and pay more attention to the Russian Federation activity in the northern territories. So today we will be listening to how Russia is trying to transform northern transport corridor into a leverage. We have Vadym Denysenko today with us. He's the director of the Dilova Stolytsia Analytical Center, and also Olga Ivaniuk, philosophy doctor of economics. So we will start with Vadym. Hello. To speak honestly, when we're talking about Northern Path, we are always stopping on a logistical route and bringing its role to this, so to speak, northern Suez channel. And many experts consider this path as a possibility for the goods to be transferred from the Asia to Europe. At the same time, we need to understand that the ecosystem and the system of this path, of this corridor, is much more complex than any other transport corridor. This path, northern path, has a few dimensions, and the logistical dimension is only one of these dimensions. A second dimension that we will be stopping at today, this is a dimension connected to those earth fossils that are in the way of the northern path, and we will stop on who owns those earth fossils, how Russians think that they can build this new ecosystem, and how this ecosystem is affecting the policy, the politics, and the opinions that circulate in Moscow. This third dimension that we need to talk about is the internal Russian political dimension, because as of today we can for sure say that one of the influence group has de facto won the elections that are going to happen in Russia in the future. So this will let this group to play a big role as a single actor on the political arena. I will give the opportunity to tell about this to talk about this topic to Olga, who is the philosophy doctor of the economics. Hello. Indeed, as Vadym said, the northern transport path is considered a logistical artery most and foremost. And the important question, who exactly coordinates the northern path? We know that it's 23% of time economy for transportation from different Asian points. And when people talk about the northern path, the Northern Collegium was created in 2024. It existed before 2024, and the difference was its subordination. Before 2024, it was subordinated to the government. Starting 2025, it is directly subordinated to the president of the Russian Federation, and its head is Patrushev, Nikolai Patrushev. And the rumor is that he will be the person who will be coordinating the northern path. So the the goals of the Collegium are very wide, and it includes strategic interests of Russia, fossils. However, the width of this position is blurring the concrete goals of this Collegium. What is more interesting for us is that the voting in the Northern Collegium is a simple majority, and it consists of 56 votes. So Nikolai Patrushev, in order to adopt this or that decision, only needs 30 votes. So the representatives of all departments, of all state departments, are included in this Collegium. So what we have is the Collegium with a very wide authority and the possibility to make decisions by one single person. So who does own this northern sea path? Who owns it? So who in reality controls it? Who gives permissions? Who rules over it and builds up infrastructure? So whose corridor in reality? Who the corridor belongs to in reality? In 2013, for the Department of the Northern Sea Path is subordinated to the Federal State Finance Company Administration of Northern Pass. In 2018, Rosatom became the infrastructure operator of the Northern Sea Path. In 2019, by the decree of the President, the corporation of Rosatom was given the hydrographic company enterprise that's subordinated to the Ministry of Transport before that. And the goal is claimed to be the realization of the United States policy in Arctic. The ports. The main thing is, of course, the ports. And when we started doing the study, we have seen that there were nationalized two ports, Vladivostok and Königsberg. These are the two ports that were transferred into the structure of Rosatom. That's why it brought our attention to them, and they are taking care of the earth fossils. In St. Petersburg, there were Port Bronka, and so the Königsberg, Vladivostok, these two ports were nationalized in 2023 and 2025. In St. Petersburg, the port was, as opposed to the previous two that were given to Rosatom by the president. So this one was sold to small money to an unknown company with an unknown director. So this Port Bronka in 2023, it wasn't approved formally. However, it was transferred. A portion of it was transferred to Belarus. And the president of Belarus, Alexander Lukashenko, told this year that they're going to organize a transport path to the Port Bronka from Belarus. And to the St. Petersburg, Vladivostok, and Königsberg, among these three, the two became subordinated to the Rosatom federal company, and it's about 40% of market is secured this way. And as for the other much smaller ports, we can see that we can see that all the other ports that belong to this structure of the Northern Sea Path. The operator is the unitary company Hydrographic Enterprise, and this enterprise was subordinated to Rosatom. And correspondingly, it received all services and payments and balance was transferred to Rosatom. The earth fossils, the earth minerals that can be transported by the Northern Sea Path. When we were analyzing this path, we have found out that the biggest earth fossil extraction sites are located near the Northern Sea Path, and they are divided into those that are already developed and those that are already and that are being developed right now. So more than, on top of that, they are located in the subordination of Rosatom already. So we can see that it is a Port Murmansk, which was nationalized as well. However, the transfer didn't happen. The transition didn't happen yet. However, I don't think we will see anything new for us. And the extraction sites that are being active right now are the Lovozersky, Murmansk Oblast region. In 2023, there was an auction that basically taken care of the licenses for the extraction. And here you can see a small map that shows those extraction sites. They are located very close to the Murmansk port, which allows to transport those earth fossils easily. So some of these extraction sites are being active, and Levozersky extraction site is creating a united site with Solikamsk plant, which was also nationalized and transferred to Rosatom. So as of right now, the Rosatom Corporation is the single owner of the extraction site and also of its immediate extraction, and also the Murmansk port also belongs to it. Those other extraction sites, they already have owners too. And in 2025, the activity has seen increase. So it is also they also belong to different offshore companies. Nobody knows who owns them, and the development of the Northern Sea Path, it's not only earth fossils, not only earth minerals, but it is also you can see from this scheme that in the future, they are planning to create a united ecosystem that will connect all the whole territory of the Russia through different rivers too. And this is a very interesting project, objectively speaking, and it is interesting to see that the Rosatom is interested not only with the ports that are located on the path of the Northern Sea Path, and also includes some of the southern ports, and they're also operator of those too. And so I'm giving the microphone to Vadym. So we are approaching to the second portion, the second aspect of this ecosystem. It's an internal friction in the political system of the Russian Federation. Everybody knows that Kyiv Denysenko is the one who is controlling Rosatom. He is the head director of the Rosatom, and he was at this position for some time already, and we need to understand that before this moment, for Rosatom, there was allocated all the budget money for the development of the Northern Sea Path. So formally, Nikolai Patrushev looks like a person who is controlling the whole northern field, Northern Sea industry. However, Patrushev doesn't have this the political weight to affect, as of today, those processes that have been launched by the Rosatom. And as far as I understand, there is a direct support by Vladimir Putin of everything that Kyiv is doing, and everything depends on how the Kyiv is going to control basically all those things that he received as a hand in a card game, basically. So when we're talking about the negotiations, we're transitioning now to the geopolitical aspect. When we're talking about the triangle USA, Russia, China, we need to understand that we, not only Ukraine, but also Europe, we really underestimate economical components of this triangle. If we try to restore what happened in the anchorage in Alaska, where the negotiations between Russia and USA happened, the Russians were offered two aspects that were very interesting for the United States of America. First is the participation of the United States of America in sales of sanctioned goods on the territory of the European Union. It's first and foremost, it's gas and oil in exchange for sanction removal. However, the European Union is categorically against it, and it is not in agenda of the Europe right now. The second aspect that right now is currently on the table. Those are the cards that lay on the table. The participation of the United States of America of the corresponding earth fossil extraction on the territory of the Russian Federation. I don't think it's realistic. I don't think that the USA will receive a permission for this kind of extraction, and taking into account that the president of the Russian Federation, Vladimir Putin, is right now doing everything to delay, to postpone the negotiations about the war in Ukraine. So when we're talking about the game that Putin plays, he is trying to play this very weird game of intermediary between the China and the USA. However, I don't think that Russia will ever become a mediator between the USA and China. But I think, on the other hand, that it can become a provider of the Northern Sea Path capabilities. So I would like to emphasize that Ushakov, who was a main diplomat, one of the main diplomats in Russia, who worked with Putin, he visited Shanghai recently, and he expressed a fantastical proposition to create a joint company, American-Russian company. In my opinion, this is absolutely unrealistic plan right now. However, Putin is playing a time delay game, not the win the game. And the Earth fossils are a card that the Russian Federation is playing with China and the United States of America simultaneously. So I will remind you that the USA is critically dependent on the China, and the activity in the extraction of earth fossils, minerals is impossible for Russia without China. So Russia has the opportunity to talk to both China and USA. This is true, and it is worth a lot. However, de facto, we can only say that the Russian Federation is very lagging in terms of technology of extraction, and these technologies can be provided by either China or the USA, and so right now it's more a passive approach. In terms of that, they are waiting to see the way that they can make steps in which direction with time. So the first question for them is, of course, the sanctions removal. Also, the sales of Russian oil and gas, not only on the territory of the European Union. And from my point of view, this is exactly why the Russian Federation started attacks by drones against Romania and Poland in order to not only understand where the red lines, the so-called red lines are, but also to see how far he can push. So, what conclusion the president of Russian Federation can come to after those attacks is that the Europe is not really pushing back, and which means it's weak. And so in this context, I think that the Vladimir Putin will be betting on China, and I think his bet is not really strong because I think that the Europeans will act differently if a strike will be more or less more significant. So Putin is all in. Putin is all in right now, and he can put pressure on. He thinks that he can put pressure on China and United States of America with the use of the Northern Path. I would like to say about one more thing. There was an article in the New York Times recent week which said that Rosatom can become a first company that will sell obligations on the Chinese market, and the board of directors of the Rosatom, their decision to engage new investments capitals, and this year the corresponding decision of allocating obligations on the market of the Chinese market has been made, and the two companies are being viewed as potential operators, and Rosatom is one of those two companies, and we think that this is exactly for the goal of development of the Northern Path. That's why it's done, and the Northern Path and the Chinese party negotiations about further steps towards joint activities in terms of construction of the Northern Path. The Chinese, the China and Russia are deciding these questions directly. They have this opportunity. They show that they have everything, that they have necessary infrastructure, logistics, construction, building capabilities, and they're showing it to China. Thank you for your presentation. And one of the questions is that the President Trump is interested in Earth fossils. So about them, about those fossils, for our understanding, how can Russian, how much can Russian fossils cover Trump's demand for Earth fossils? If we're talking about the extraction sites that are already active right now, and that Ukraine is talking about their own Earth fossils that will need to be geologically assessed before they are extracted. And friends, I would like to give the microphone to the floor. There is a question. Hello, thank you. Do I understand correctly that the economical viability and the use of the ice-breaking boats should be used, right, the whole year round? So the question is about those ice-breaking boats, vessels. How many of them they have, and how are they going to do it? Yes, indeed. As of today, the whole year round is required. The use of the ice-breaking boats is required, and some kind of decisions we are expecting to see some kind of decision that will lead to the shuttling of the vessels without the ice-breaking boats. And the quantity of those vessels that the Russian Federation has, I'm not sure about those. I know that the United States of America has one, and right now there was ordered another one for construction in Finland. And this is where the friendship of Trump and Finland president is coming from, and and at the same time, China is also planning to build a lot of around 50 ice-breaking boats, and they have created a joint ice-breaking vessel construction plant together with the Russian Federation. However, we don't know yet if they have started the construction of these plants. So the portion, we believe that this is a portion of agreement between China and Russia in terms of strategic cooperation. And very important for us, what's really important for us is that it was previously considered that during the Putin and Xi Jinping meeting, Putin will allocate some kind of territory for the Chinese to build some kind of infrastructure for adding to later to the northern sea path. But this didn't happen, and I will mention again that the Russians are playing the long game. I will also add that there is another extraction site near the Levozersky extraction site that are extracting laperite metal ores, and the Torsky extraction site that belongs to Rosneft, and the only plant that the Rosatom is working with in building the ice-breaking vessels is together with Rosatom and Rosneft. So this is the only joint company that is constructing, that are going, or at least planning to build ice-breaking boats. So are there any questions, commentaries? No questions on the floor, so I would like to thank you for this study, and it was really interesting, very fundamental. Thank you everyone for showing interest to this topic, and to the Armed Forces of Ukraine to giving us opportunity to meet here. Glory to Ukraine.